Hey, what's up, guys? This is going to be a weekly recap. I also want to go through some of my stats. The reason I want to do this is I want to really document my journey, and I think that if this helps people out, cool. I'm not doing this for to try to whatever. I'm doing this to document my own journey. I've not been trading futures for very long. Been helping out a guy that he's been trading for a couple years, and I don't know, me and him kind of created a system, and I put it to use. This is, I believe, my third XFA account. I blew the first two. Kind of get into that really quick refresher. So I had, my first week in my first combine ever. I passed it, but I passed it trading wrong. I started going back to how I used to be at the very beginning. My small cap journey. I started sizing in way too much, taking way too much risk. I'd have huge winners, which would give me a huge ego boost, and then I would over leverage the shit out of myself, and then I blew my account. Both my XFA accounts, I've blew both of them, and I think the one I had the longest was 3 days. And it's because of how I traded my combine that screwed me over. Because I'd stay super good and disciplined, and then I have one day of going on tilt, and it's usually towards the very end of my combine, and then that kind of would screw me up, which we're gonna kind of talk about here in a second. But you start looking at this kind of stuff. So this is the thing that really pops out to me. So on the first ever day, I traded 20 contracts. I had two trades, one entry, one exit. Then the next day, if huge difference, right? 21 trades. Then I reeled myself back in, 30 contracts, two trades. Cool. Then I went back up to 98 contracts with 10 trades. So I'm having these little bits and moments. So I'm going to go back into my actual thing here in a second. I have a relatively decent winning rate so far. My average winner is better than my average loser, which obviously that's what you're going for. Um, no, here I have two winning trades. I have four winning trades, six losing trades, two winning trades, 2 and 4. But the other thing is that I want to point out is, um, you know, this was my first ever max loss. The first two times on my XFA account, I never had a max loss because of how they structure this. And I'm going to kind of go back up to here. So you start off with the zero balance once you go into an XFA account. You have a maximum of $2,000 drawdown, but it trails with you, right? So I get up to $500 now, or just under $500. Then it moves, my max loss down or up to $1,500. Then it continues up, right? So right now I think my max loss, my max drawdown, it hasn't updated yet, but my max drawdown is I can't drop below negative 968. I just had another decent day today, so I'll go up another 680s. So I'm back above my highest point. Where am I at? I'm at 11,194. So I'll be just a little bit above this, right? So he's gonna raise my max drawdown a little bit, not a lot. How it works in the XFA account is I have to get 5 winning trades. A winning day is not winning trades. A winning day, you have to have $200 or plus to count as a winning day. I can start scaling, which is not important to me right now because the most I'm using right now is I'm using 10 micros, which is really all I need right now. I don't believe I need much more than that, but I kind of want to go into see if this thing refreshes. If not, we'll try one more time at the end of um, this. All right, did not refresh. Okay, so we're gonna dive into this a little bit. So this is all on the 4-hour charts. So we're gonna drop down to the 5-minute chart. So there's a huge difference between this entry, exit, recycle, exit. Cool. Done for the day. Like, I was literally done trading in, like, if you go down to 2-minute chart, I was literally trading for 4 minutes today. That's it, literally. I have my own system that I've created with a friend of mine, friend, student, however you want to look at it. But this is where stuff gets stupid. So I had yesterday was my problem, which is something I've been working on with my wife. So the idea was that like I said, I needed to make a $200 day. So this is my thought process. What I needed to do was I enter with 10 contracts if it's in the purple. That's an A plus setup for me. So 10 contracts, I cover half. Like if I have because I can move my stop loss. It can show me when I'm at like $400 in profit. I move it down to wherever $400 is, and I cover half, which means I lock in $200. And in theory, I'm supposed to be done for the day. So, we're gonna move back to the beginning of the week. Right here. So, this is the problem, or where I kind of see a problem. So, on this one, I traded full size up here, short. I covered 5 contracts, and then I was like, my boss called me. I got busy, which for those of you that have not watched my content before, I have a full-time job. So all of this stuff I'm doing while I have a full-time job. So I got done with 5 contracts. I had like unrealized of, roughly, really, probably like an extra like $300 at this point. And so I'm like, okay, if this goes all the way up to break even, am I going to be okay with that and be able to walk away? And I was like, no, I don't think I am. So I was like, all right, I want to lock in some more profits. I covered another 3 contracts. We must stop to break even. Hit my break even. I was done for the day. Okay, no problem. Whatever. Cool. Well, then go to the next day. Same thing happened. I longed, covered half. Well, I also wasn't as confident. So I screwed up. I didn't go in with 10 contracts right at the initial. I started scaling in, but then I got stopped out, break even on half, and I was at like $200. Then I came back later because this is in pre-market. Or like right at the very beginning, I don't remember. I was. Then all this shit is just a cluster of trades. I ended up making more money on that day, which is great, congratulations. But I traded all day, so I was like, okay, I can't be doing this shit. I need to scale down my trading. Well, then fast forward over to here. Fuck, I just moved that. But anyways, whatever. I went short. I covered 5. I recycled 5. I covered 5. Then I covered one more because when I covered, I had realized $203. I was like, man, I really don't want this to stop me at break even, and because of commissions, I'm like $1 below, and I give myself an excuse to keep trading. So what I did is I covered another 1 contract, and then the other one stopped me at break even. And I started thinking about this. I was like, okay, dude, like if you look at, I'm good with patterns. So this is the third day in a row where I've gotten stopped out break even on half. Would have been half. But if I'm in, and most of these are, I'm going for about 10 points, right? So, if I take 10 contracts for 10 points, that's $500. And I'm like, why am I covering, half for roughly, like, a little bit below, a little bit before 10 points? I'll cover at $200. I think it is like 9 points or whatever. But I was like, why am I doing that? And so I'm changing like the way that I'm doing things. I'm trying something different because I'm not trying to sound ungrateful, but I'm not in this to try to make $200 a day. I'm in this to make $400, $500 a day. That's a solid day, right? And then I don't even remember what the hell I did over on this one. This is my max loss day. I just traded. So this is why I'm changing this today, because I had this great trade. I covered half, and I was up where I would have made like $500 on a day, which I would have been completely content with. This went up and stopped me out break even. I was up $270, and this was in pre-market because I traded here before the open, and then my stop got hit like right after the open. But then I came back and started trading, and I just went apeshit. I honestly, I don't know what the hell any of this is, because this is what I call no man's land. This is not. It's not that I can't trade in there, but I should definitely not be going in with full size. Why? Because it's not an A+ trade. But where I'm trying to reel myself back, because I'm super fucking tired right now. I had a really long week. It was a rough week. At work, super busy. But where I'm going with this is, my new thought process is, okay, so I'm getting really good entries, right? Almost every single one of these trades I was right with, and I had really good timing and really good entries. Where I'm fucking myself is I'm covering half and the other half gets covered break even. Okay, well, if on every single one of these trades today it's went 10 points, I could have just covered, why not just cover the whole damn thing right now until I get to a next amount, which is going to go into my business plan? Because right now, all I'm doing, I'm not paying myself anything right now. I'm trying to just create a buffer. And I have a couple different ideas that I'm going off of. I want to see if anybody actually watches this stuff, and I don't know, what would you guys do in your thing? It's nice to understand where other people are coming from in their thought process, because it'll make, I don't know, it makes me think slightly differently. But what I think I should be doing is just nail and bill, right? Which is exactly what I did today. So today, I was talking to my wife last night, and I was like, hey, this is my new idea. And she's like, she doesn't understand, trading and all that kind of stuff. And so, for her, it's just like, you're always changing the rules. It's like, I'm not changing my rules. I'm trying to find my rules. I'm fine-tuning my rules, because I've never traded futures before. I've traded small caps. I have rules for small caps. But where I am in my life right now, honestly, I feel like futures is a way, way better place to be than small caps. Why? Small caps, I live in America. I need $30,000 in a trading account, because I'm not going to trade some small bullshit account with loopholes that I found. I'm not gonna do it. But with this, all I had to do is I paid $50 for a month, pass the combine, and I'm not trying to say that you suck if you can't pass a combine. But passing a combine is not very difficult if you're a skilled trader. Like if you have experience and you are actually profitable, I really don't believe that you'll have a hard time trading. Like in passing a combine, it's to show that like you have enough structure to be a trader. Now where it gets difficult is you know building up the business portion of it because they have certain rules. Like with my small caps, I can pretty much do whatever I wanted because it's my own capital. These guys are not just going to give me $50,000 and let me do whatever I want to do. So I have to worry about certain shit, and like it's time constraint. Like I can't just if I fail my XFA account, it's going to take me roughly another week to pass my XFA, and then I have to pay another fee. Well, every time I do a combine, it's $50 to try the combine. I pass the combine, great. Then I pay $150 to activate my XFA because I can get paid in my XFA account. Once I pass that XFA account, then I do all the contracts. I get the live funded $50,000 account, and then it's off to like really really trading. So like technically I'm just in stage 2 of trading right now. But what I think I should be doing is just okay, dude, just nail and bill. Like especially if I've only got $1,200 buffer. That's it. I should not be trying to get super complex with this shit because it's almost like if you're in like the builder phase. For those of you guys that trade small caps, if you guys are in a small account, like say a $5,000 account or whatever, you guys should not be trading like all these other traders that are like trying to hit the top and then they start scaling out or whatever. Like no, honestly, in my personal opinion, you need to be nail and bill because you need to be building your account. Building your account is completely fucking different than trading your account and operating the business. You're like in the startup phase. That's exactly what I had to remind myself about. I'm in the startup phase. I need to build a buffer on my account. This is my thought process. Because like I said, after I get to the 5th day, which today will be day 4, so I need one more $200 day and then I can pay myself. Cool. I'm not going to. Because so there it finally updated. So cool. Got 4. My average win day is 400. My average losing day, because I only got 1 and I took a max loss, is $500. No bueno. So what I'm thinking about is if I do like say what I want to do is I want to build this up to roughly, I would say, I'm trying like, and I would like to know your guys' input because I'm thinking either $3,000 or $5,000. If I go to $3,000, then what I'm going to do is I'm going to pay myself $1,000, and the reason for this is the combines and the XFA account. So this is my 3rd XFA, so that's $450 plus. I think I had one combine that I blew in one day. I was just on tilt, so I think I've had 4 combines. So that's $200. 4, that's $650. So if I pay myself $1,000, I'm net profit on my business. Cool, awesome. Then after that, then like I'm going to start building up to like roughly probably about $7,500, and then I'll start paying myself $2,500. After you pay yourself 5 times maximum, the risk management team kicks you up to live regardless. I can take up to a $5,000 payment. So really, I could build this thing up to say $10,000 and I pay myself $5,000 and take a full $5,000 payout. I mean that's also an option too, really, because all I need to do is I need to pay myself $1,000 and then I'll be basically break even, and I'll have money left over in case anything does happen to this XFA account, which I think is the same thing as like in my small caps. The first thing I tell everybody, cool, you have $30,000, awesome. You don't pay yourself. The first thing you do is you put $5,000 into a high yield savings account, set it aside. That way, if you do anything to your account, or do anything stupid, you have a fallback on account. It's basically the same idea with this, just obviously smaller because I'm not trading with $5,000. It takes me $200 to get a $50,000 trading account. So that's why I want to pay myself $1,000, and then, but like I said, that would take one of my payouts. I also don't think that, like most people in the community were saying, that they're not going to probably let you get, like the risk management team is going to bump you up to live before you get $5,000 payouts. That'd be stupid for them just to be basically pissing away money. You prove that you're profitable, you're doing good. You know, I'm hoping that I get one $5,000 payout. But in worst case scenario, I want to make sure that I get at least my $1,000. That way, I'm at least break even. And then what I plan on doing is building up. If I can get it up to $5,000 or up to $10,000, and then pay myself $5,000, that's exactly what I'll do. If they call me up to live, I'm pretty sure whatever the rule used to be whatever your account was in this gets added to your $50,000 account as a buffer. I don't believe that they're doing that anymore. If they are, then cool. I'll just carry it over, and then I'll rinse and repeat. If no, then I'll be able to request up to 50% of my money. So, you know, whatever that is, cool. Hey guys, whatever. Like, pass me on to the live, you know, but I've made $4,000. Cool. I want to pay out $2,000. All right, there you go. Whatever. Then I made a total of $3,000 on this account. I go live, and then it's back to basically the thing. But where I'm going with this is, the way I'm looking at it is, especially once it go live, right? XFA is just to prove to them, hey, I can trade, like really trade. Give me $50,000. Well, once I get there, then what I need to really do is have like a business structure. And what my idea is, okay, I have $50,000. I would imagine it's going to, the rules are going to be somewhere very similar to the XFA account. I start with, you know, $50,000. I have a maximum drawdown of $2,000. I can only lose $2,000. So I would imagine I would do the same exact thing. And it'd probably be like the same exact thing. It'd probably be a trailing stop just like this. Okay, cool. Once I get to that, that's different. Especially if I pay myself to where I'm break even. Cool. I'm gonna baby the fuck out of that thing, and I'm gonna get to like what my thought process is. If I can get up to $5,000, like that's gonna be kind of my bare minimum like place that I want to be at. I won't allow myself to size up once I get to 5,000, but what I will do is every single month, at the end of the month, whatever I built up over 5,000, half of it will pay myself, and the other half is going to stay in the account to build it up. I want to get that account from where it's 50,000 to 75,000. I want to have a $25,000 buffer zone. While I start going through there, I'm going to start, you know, adding in more layers to this business structure, because I'm obviously going to want to start adding more size. Right now I'm using 10 micros, but eventually on A+ setups I'm going to be using, say, 15 micros. Cool, I'll do the same exact thing. 10 points, I cover 10 contracts, and then I let 5 go, or I trail it, or, you know, however I want to do it. But right now, you know, especially this, not even this week, like I've noticed that a lot. Like whenever I cover half, I set myself to break even. Most of them don't just fade down. They normally go back up to the level that I traded at. They'll like penny touch the damn thing, and then they go back down. I'm all busy or whatever, I'll miss out on it. So this is just kind of my idea, and I feel like I should throw this out there for other people. I think I'm going to throw YouTube videos out there, and like, you know, I don't know, make it like something cool, like my road to financial freedom, or whatever the hell. I might start doing something like that. But I want to have the videos at least. I don't know, like a journal. I think it'd be cool as hell to, I wish I would have done this in my small caps when I was doing, the very beginning of everything. And I did have, I did all of my series while I was in the mentoring program, and then I stopped doing it. And I think this would be a really cool way. On top of that, it'll also show like, hey, TopStep is the shit. Like they pay well. Whatever. It'd be props to them also. So that's kind of my thought process. But like I said, it's been a long ass week. I'm going to go do my workout, and I want to go chill with my wife and have a very relaxed night because I am fucking beat. So I hope you guys all had a good week, and I will talk to you guys later.